Hey everyone, welcome back to the Twala Bears. A few weeks ago, I was watching an expat here in the Philippines on his vlog talk about his relationship. And there's something that he said that didn't sit well with me. And we're going to talk about it. So, a couple of weeks ago, I was watching this guy's vlog and he said, I wanted to come here to the Philippines uh, to be with my girlfriend and to marry her. And I thought, hey, that was cool. You wanted to do that. But one thing he said that didn't sit well and kind of bothered me is he said this. He said he wanted to save her. And he didn't explain what he meant by saving her. He didn't say out loud what he meant by that. So all I could go by is what is he implying? What did he mean by saving her? So, you know, all I could think of is that are you implying that you're trying to rescue her from her poverty? Is that what you mean with your money? Because I don't know what other thing he was trying to mention about saving. Are you going to try to save her into Christianity or something? Save her soul? What did you mean by saving her? So all I could think of is maybe he was implying poverty or hardship because it's very hard to make it here in the Philippines. So that's all I could think of, and that's what I believe he meant: poverty and maybe hardship here in the Philippines. So using that as what uh, I thought he meant, it bothered me. What do you mean, bro, by saving? So the reality is, you know, speaking about Filipinas, most Filipina most Filipinas here have jobs. They have jobs. And I'm going to use my wife as an example. My wife, Janice. I was dating her a year before I moved here to the Philippines. And in that year, she had a full time job. And on the side, she was buying wholesale shoes so she could sell individually. And she was working hard 10, 12, 14 hours. The travel was long. Um, she had to travel and these bus rides. She lived here in Tagaytay. She would travel into Las Piñas, into Manila, and that was a long travel. So you talking about working at work for 10 hours and then taking 2-hour trips each way to work and then still doing her side job, um, selling shoes. So this is when I met her. She was doing that. And so she was supporting her own daughter at the time. She had a 6-year old, I believe she was almost 7. So she had a 7-year old and she was supporting her daughter. So, the question should really be, who really needs the saving here? Because Filipinas here, they have their own. They have their own job. They work, they support their children. They have their own. So to say that you're going to save a Filipina implies what? What do you mean by that? So the question is really, who really needs the saving here? So, you know, I'm going to speak for the expat community because I'm one. Many expats come here lonely from their own failed relationships back home. Am I wrong? Many of you have had relationships and you come here to the Philippines looking for relationships because you've already had failed ones back home. So you get here to the Philippines, and um, a lot of you, you'll get into the bar scene. You're thinking you're a free guy. You're gonna go into the bar scene, to these girly bars. You can drink, you can have as many girls as you want. But you know what? You know what you're really masking? You're masking your loneliness. You're actually really lonely. You'll go into these bars and you'll get a girl, pay her bar fine, take her home for the night. But you know what happens when you take her home for the night? The next morning, she's gone. And there you are with your loneliness, right? You're lonely. So I don't know who needs saving. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's the expat who needs the saving here and not the Filipina. You know, I was thinking, after a long day and a Filipina works, she'll work 10, 12, 14 hours. And then she goes home to her children, her kids, if she has any. She'll go home to her family. She has a great support system. Most Filipinos here, they have a great support system. So a Filipina is not lacking fighting this moth. So Filipinas are not lacking when it comes to loneliness. They're not lonely. Their lives are fulfilled. They have a job. They have their children. They have their family. They're set. They're good to go. But the expats, they come here, you know, they're lonely. What do? They sit in their small apartment with four walls and they're fighting the loneliness, right? So so the question should be, of course, who really needs the saving? And I believe it's the expat. You expats need the saving. It's not the Filipina. Filipina has a great support system. They have their own money, they have their own job. So if you think you're going to come here to the Philippines and you're saying, I'm going to save a Filipina from poverty, from hardship, what you may get in reality uh, is a caretaker. If you think you're going to buy a Filipina here, yeah, you're going to get a caretaker. You're not going to get somebody who loves you because love can't be bought. You have to work at a relationship like I have. It hasn't been easy. My relationship with Janice has not been easy. We've had some bad times in our relationship. All relationships do. But when you come here and you say, I'm going to save that Filipina, no, you're not. You need to look in the mirror, bro. I think you're the one that needs the saving. And that's all I had to say today is that, think twice because maybe my last message is think twice because maybe it's you that needs the saving, not the Filipina. So that's all I have for you tonight. I hope you guys are having a great morning, great day, and great evening. And take care. Thanks.